Hi, everybody. John Harris here with you. Billy is technically on assignment, I guess. He's checking out the Florida teams to make sure and see what's going on after all the Hurricane Helene stuff. Uh, but he is away. He did send in picks as far as game picks and regular odds makers picks. So we'll go through Billy's picks, and then Roger and I. Welcome to my friend. I'm going to try and say his name the right way. Rebagilla.
Oh, that's perfect. Wow.
Yeah,
Yep.
there it is, baby.
There it is. There
I
it is. Keep
practiced
that
it
in
for a
mind
couple.
for the show Saturday. You're gonna
Yep, that's
announce
right.
the
And Roger's putting on a show Saturday here in Rossville, Kansas. And then, of course, we have my friend Dennis Ingraldi sponsoring us. Uh, Dennis, of course, is with Vineland Realty Corporation in Vineland, New Jersey, for all your residential and business property needs. Contact them. They are at 634 East Landis Avenue. Hold on a second. I'm going to get you their phone number because, we can, and we can do it fairly quickly. You would think after all these years, all this time that Dennis has been supporting us, that I would have his phone number memorized, but I do not. So that phone number is 856-690-9482. Dennis and his crew, they will help you with anything that you need that is property related for you, whether you want to rent, buy, sell. I can't see that. Oh, Billy used to do that too. Or there were times we'd do the show and Billy would go, Johnny, yeah, don't forget Dennis. And right on camera. And he's right. I would just, but Dennis has
give
done
them a
so
call.
much just by supporting us. So give them a call. I couldn't see it, but I knew what you were doing. I couldn't
I got
actually,
the number up there.
yeah. Uh,
And shout out to my sponsor, Blue Chew.
okay,
Thank you guys.
there you go. 856-690-9482, Vineland Realty Corporation, 634 East Landis Avenue in Vineland, New Jersey. Thanks, Dennis, and thanks to Blue Chew. And uh, we'll go from there. Um, So here we go, folks. It's week number 4 of the NFL. We're going to go through quickly. We'll go through last week's results. Roger split even at 8-8 due to his very last minute, but very smart and totally legal pick and change in picks. And we leave that open long as we let the other people know before kickoff. He did change from the Browns Giants game to having the Giants cover, and that worked, especially since the Giants won. So against the odds, Roger broke even 8-8, so you wouldn't have lost any money with the Raj man. Uh, and picks, he was 7-9. So, uh, but you know what? The moneymaker is the 8-8, or at least
The spread, yeah.
the
And I
spread.
should have
That's
been
the moneymaker.
yeah,
Uh,
should have been 9-7, but it's hard to beat the Chiefs and the refs in
and the rest.
the same week.
Oh,
Hey, I'm honest. That's what happened.
okay. Yeah, that was. Don't get me wrong. I'm rooting for the Chiefs. I even picked the Chiefs, but that call, wow. At least turn your head around.
Yeah.
Now there are other people who are sitting back saying um, that the ball should have been thrown higher. And I could see that, but
True.
it's easy to say as far as performance, should have, could have, whatever. Um, I mean, he would tower over the guy if you throw it up there. He maybe makes the catch. But here's the deal: there was no guarantee they were going to win the game, even if he gets the penalty.
No.
Still
No,
got to
you
put
give
it in.
Mahomes
You're
too
still
much
going to
time.
score, and you're still giving the Chiefs the ball back.
Yep.
So you could look at it both ways, I guess. But it was a call that I felt should have been made too. I was like, oh, as soon as I saw the play, I was like, oh man, I'm waiting for the
Yeah.
flag. I'm shaking my head. I'm thinking there's a flag for sure. I'm like, oh man, and no flag. And I was like, okay. And then the first thing I thought about is exactly what you said. Everybody's going to talk about it after that, and of course they did. But but in the end, it's exactly what they all said too. The Chiefs find ways to win. So that's what you do when you're a good team, I guess.
Yeah. It's like the heavyweight championship. You got to knock them out.
You got to
Otherwise,
knock
you're
them
going to
out for
lose.
the 10 count, or it's at least a draw. They're
You'll
gonna,
lose the decision every time.
yep, lose a decision, and they're gonna keep the belt.
Yes, sir.
Uh, So we had some games that were upsets, really, and that's part of why we all struggled a little bit. Billy ended up, now he only picked two games against the spread because he was away, but he won them both. One was the Jets game. He, oh no, yeah, he won them both. He picked the Jets over New England. I won the game, but I took New England to cover, and that didn't happen. So Billy won that one. And the other one was Washington and Cincinnati. He picked, give him credit. He picked Washington and they won. So I did too. I think that's one you might have struggled with.
I
Ye-
did. I missed that one. Let's talk about Jaden Daniels here for a minute. That kid
Yes,
is exciting to
I was,
watch, man.
yes, he is. And that's one of the things I don't understand for this week's game. We'll get into it. I think I think he's gonna be the real deal. Uh he really looks good. And you know what? He doesn't force the run. I mean, yeah, they call some plays and stuff, but he doesn't force the run as much as some others do. And I think that's what's going to keep him around,
Yeah.
excluding a freak injury. It is the NFL.
And he's learning how to slide. He's
Yep.
making good decisions. I don't think he's going to go too ahead first to anyone anytime soon.
Uh,
So,
uh-uh.
yeah, I'm excited about him. Anytime
Yeah.
that he's playing, I'd want to
Well,
watch.
Billy's a Washington fan, and he's pumped about it. He's like, "Oh,
Yeah,
this kid looks great. He's so
they,
excited."
they got one finally. I mean, you get a
Yeah,
franchise
I think the
quarterback.
next couple of years that NFC East is going to be tough because
Mhm.
uh, the Giants are going to have to make some changes, but and Dallas is going to have to figure out a way to add players. Uh,
But if you look at the Giants, Malik Neighbors, he's phenomenal
oh,
too.
he's
That
phenomenal. He looks good
man,
too. So they're
another
starting.
exciting guy.
We'll see if they
Let's
stick
just hope
with
he's
that or
okay
yeah. I think they're going to have to upgrade from Daniel Jones eventually, but they
next
signed
year.
him
They're gonna
such a
have to.
big contract. But you're going to have to upgrade from him, I think, at some point. Um,
Mhm.
all right, so yeah, Billy was 2-0 against the spread last week. Games he was 10-6. Games I was 10-6. Against
Wow.
the spread, Billy was 2-0. I had a great week. I got lucky, I guess. I was 11-5 against.
Congratulations. Wow. I should
Thanks.
follow your picks this week.
Yeah, you were gonna have to. Yeah,
Well done,
would have
John.
made some money this week. Week before, not so much, but this week I had a good week. So that makes the season results for Bill and I. In games, Bill's 25-23. He cracked the 500 mark because he had a good, like I said, he had a pretty good week. His percentage in games 52% against the odds. His percentage is almost 52 at 51.6. I'm 31-17, which is 64.6 in regular picks against the odds, 56.5.
Wow, you're a moneymaker.
Yeah, yeah, usually
Very nice.
usually a little better than that, but sometimes it takes a while to get it to that point. Um, but 26-20 with three pushes. Bill 16-15 with three pushes.
Very nice.
So we'll take that. I'd take that to the bank. 11-5 week, I'd take that, and I'd just be sitting at the bank every week. Say,
Oh,
tell me
all
my
day.
balance, please.
All day, every
Today,
day. Yeah.
all every day. I would take
Let's do it
11-5.
again. Let's
Yes,
roll these
sir.
out. Here we go. I'm
Yep.
ready. I'm
So
ready.
if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's rock
Let's
and
go.
roll, baby.
I want to get on the winning side.
I've got faith in you.
All right.
Let me
Good.
see. Here we go. Uh, you started off rough the other night, Dallas and the Giants, because you took the Giants across the board. Uh, Dallas won by just more than the spread, of course, too. Because the spread went down to 5.5, which sucks too. So, so we'll pick up with Minnesota and Green Bay. Green Bay is picked by 2.5. Jordan Love is scheduled to start.
I saw that, so I changed my pick because of it. You're starting at the okay, right here.
They're in
Um,
Green Bay.
yeah, I'm going Green Bay. I'll take Green Bay and Green Bay to cover. I have that at 2.5. What do you have?
That's what I got. I
Yeah.
just what I have is hot off the presses at about 50 minutes ago.
All right.
Uh, yeah, bottom of the previous hour was where we were. So you're taking Green Bay across the board. Billy took Minnesota. I across the board, and I took Minnesota across the board.
Okay.
So
Um,
that's
conference
what makes
game
it.
there. Conference game, give me the home team. I'll take that every time. Less than 3 points. Let's do it. Jordan Love's back.
Yeah, Jordan Love back. My thing is how mobile is he going to be? Um, so we don't know. He may be
Let's see.
okay. He may not be. If he's not that mobile, then he's not the Jordan Love, you know, that we're used to seeing, and it might not be enough because Minnesota's playing lights out right now.
Unbelievable. Yep.
Denver and the Jets. It's an 8-point spread for the Jets. It is in New Jersey, which makes it tough for the East Coast team or West Coast team to fly into the East Coast usually. Billy took the Jets to win, Denver to cover. I did the same thing.
Yep. Same here. I take the Jets. I think Denver played well. Bo Nix played really well last week. I think they're going to build on that. Denver still hasn't got the run game going, but if they do, they might be sneaky good. Defense
Yeah,
is really good.
yeah, and plus it's a big spread to me. 8 points is
Yeah.
a big
Eight's
spread.
a lot. Eight's a
Yep.
lot.
So Pittsburgh and Indy. Billy took Indianapolis. The Steelers are picked by 2. I took he took Indianapolis across the board. I took Pittsburgh across the board.
All right, I'm taking the Colts there as well. I'll take the Colts at home to cover 2. Pittsburgh's been playing well as a team. Fields has been incredible, but Colts at home, I don't think they found themselves yet. I think this is the week they do. Richardson is I mean, he could be benched or he
Yeah,
could prove himself. This is a make or break game. I'm going Colts.
yeah. I think they're going to stick with him because I think they're hoping that last week's Jonathan Taylor emergence again, back to form, sticks. And if it does, then you don't need Richardson to do a whole lot.
Yeah,
Uh,
it opens things up.
the only thing is, Pittsburgh's defense is tough.
Very
And
tough.
yeah, so
Did you run down injuries?
yes, I didn't run them down. I did mark them down. I don't have anything for that particular game.
Okay.
Green Bay, we do have Love is starting for Green Bay. Philly is hurting. Devontae Smith is still out with a concussion. Lane Johnson is still out. AJ Brown has been ruled out now with a concussion, or not concussion, the hamstring. Um, Tampa Bay, Sterling Shepard in that same game is coming back to play. Another weapon for Tampa Bay. Um, Justin Herbert's going to start for the Chargers, but he started last week. Remember, it's against the Chiefs. So
Herbert
Harbaugh,
is starting.
he is starting. He's scheduled to
Okay.
start. Same thing though. Harbaugh saying if he can't move around and protect himself, I'm pulling him out, which is what he did last week. He played well, but after that first half, you could see he was hobbling, and it's like if he can't move and protect himself, and I think that's the right move long term. You got to
I agree.
for the
Yep.
player
Protect
and
the
for
young
the team.
man. You're paying him a lot of money. That's an investment. Yes. Fight for it.
Miami signed Tyler Huntley, who was the backup when Lamar was hurt. They signed him, and they're going to start him this week and Skylar Thompson's going to be the emergency, and I can't remember who it is that's going to be the backup. Um, but and the reason for Thompson not starting isn't anything except he's hurting with ribs. He's got rib
And
injury.
he didn't play. He didn't play very well. He was holding that ball way too long.
Yeah,
Just a
yeah.
young man, not quite there yet.
He's not quite there, and of course,
No,
playing behind Tua, he's not going to get there. And now he's hurt. This was a chance to gain some experience, and he's hurting. They said it is more painful than anything else, but it is ribs are painful. I've had it. It's not good. Uh, Raheem Mostert has moved up to questionable. He was out last week. Now he's questionable, so it might be a game time decision for Miami. Um, Seahawks running back Walker is now scheduled to return to play this week against Detroit Monday night, and Laporta, the tight end for Detroit, is scheduled to return and play. He was hobbled the second half of last week's game, but they think he will be okay. Um, no other real unknown injuries that we know of. They're the major ones. San Francisco, I think Kittle's still going to be out, and
they're all still hurt.
they're all
McCaffrey's
still
out.
hurt. McCaffrey could end up being on IL. I mean, he actually went to Germany to have treatment on that Achilles.
Hmm.
Anytime you start mentioning Achilles, man, that's
It's
bad.
scary. Achilles and arthritis.
Yeah,
So
Arthritis,
let's hope that it's
tendonitis in the Achilles, they said.
yeah,
So
tendonitis. Yep.
yeah, it's not good. So
So let's just hope that he's on IR already and they're just taking something to extend his career and it's not actually that
yeah,
serious. Not
yeah,
sure what the situation is.
yeah. You hope he doesn't have to have surgery, but if he does, get it done. Take your time with him. Let him take his time and return back to form. So because if
But
40
honestly,
year
even
old
with one
Aaron Rodgers
Achilles,
can do it, I'm sorry.
yeah, even with one Achilles, I think Christian McCaffrey is better than most.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Oh
We'll
yeah,
see when they get him back
better
out there.
than yeah, better than 90%. So
Yeah. He's one of
um,
the great whites. There's very few of them.
oh yeah. I didn't say that, but I
I
agree
did. I
with
did.
it.
I said it. I said it. I
But
said
I
it.
agree with it. Carolina, Cincinnati. Billy and I both took the Bengals across the board. Great story. It's in Carolina. If Andy Dalton somehow figures out a way to beat his old team, um, and they are an improved team with him under quarterback, that's obvious. But
Absolutely.
I think Cincinnati knows for them, this is almost like a playoff game. They're 0-3. For them to get back into the hunt, they got to win this week. Uh, so I see them pulling this out. They still T. Higgins is back, Chase is back, um, and they played well last week. They just didn't quite close the deal. I think against Carolina they will, and Carolina might be the remedy for them. Um, it is by 4.5. If it was 6, I would take Carolina to cover just on a hunch, but I think Andy Dalton's going to do everything he can to keep it close. But I went ahead and so did Billy. We both went with the Bengals across the board.
So I'll go across. I'll go against the grain here. I'll take Cincinnati to win, but Carolina to cover 4.5 at home. I think it'll be a tight game. Cincinnati's defense is not great, not like it used to be.
That's true.
I think it's going to be a close game. Cincinnati pulls it off, but yep, give me the cover there,
All right, you got
Carolina.
Philly and Tampa Bay. I have next. It's Philly by 1. I I'm an Eagles fan, but like I've always said, money talks more than heart. I think the Eagles have too many pieces missing. Devontae Smith is out. AJ Brown is out. They're one of the best left tackles in the game. Lane Johnson is out, which is the blind side for Hurts. Um, I just I can't see it. I hope. Don't get me wrong. I hope deep down I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I will go. Oh man, I'm stupid. I'll take that all day long. Billy took Philly to win it. Um, it's in Tampa Bay. I think I think Tampa got a little bit exposed in Denver last week, but I think they're going to recover. I still like Baker Mayfield. He's the heart and soul of that team, and they are getting a receiver back in Sterling Shepard.
True,
So
true. So
it,
Philly, yes, and I think you can feel them missing Kelsey here, and
yeah,
the player that stepped in there, he's playing pretty well, but I think the leadership's there. You know what you have
yeah,
with Kelsey gone, but give me Philly. You got Saquon Barkley. He's one of the most exciting running backs. Still one of the
that's
best.
true.
They're gonna pound the ball there. I'm seeing a big game from Saquon, and yeah, I think Philly wins big. Actually, I think they go to
And
Tampa and they
really,
win big.
okay, and
Yep,
you might be right. Goddard is showing how good a tight end he is.
absolutely. They'll
And
find a way.
170 yards last week. I mean, that's great. So
And Philly's another team, and their coach. I mean, it's almost must win here. He's going to be on the hot seat real soon if
yeah, I
he's
think
not
he's
putting some
kind of on
wins.
the hot seat anyway because he makes some strange decisions and his time management's not great.
Yeah,
So um, it wouldn't surprise me if they struggle or even if they get to the postseason and don't look that good, they could just keep the coordinators and bring in a new or make one of them the head coach and bring in somebody. I mean, I could see a change possibly happening. Um, Problem is, whenever a guy gets you to the Super Bowl, it's hard to say, "Yeah, you're out." But they did it with Doug Peterson.
yeah, the
He
Cam
won a Super
Peterson.
Bowl 2 years later. He's out. So
Yeah,
um, the
and
NFL,
now they're playing Peterson too. So that's kind of a revenge game.
yeah, it is. Yeah. So it's not for long, as they say in the
No,
NFL. They say no
no,
fun
sir.
day or not for long when it comes to coaches, especially. So
It's a what have you done for me lately business.
yep. That's what it is. Uh, New Orleans goes to Atlanta. Billy took New Orleans across the board. I took Atlanta across the board. Atlanta is favored by 2.5.
I'm taking Atlanta. So a home divisional game under 3 points, under 3.5. I'll take the home team every time. And I mean that's what the numbers line up to. It's about 70%. And in that conference, especially, even Carolina at home, when they're not great, they'll pull off wins. So yeah, give me the Falcons. And
Okay.
Kamara is questionable too, right? He's even
Oh,
doubtful.
I did see that. Yes, last minute I did. And I forgot I have it written here too. I just didn't read it. You're right. If he doesn't play or can't play up to his potential, that could be a problem because Atlanta to me is gritty as hell and they're still learning their offense.
Absolutely, they're just
Uh,
figuring it out. Yep.
yep. Uh, so and let's face it, we know that Cousins is still the real deal. So I mean that drive
Mhm.
against Philly to win it was just unreal. So uh,
And Pitts for Atlanta, I believe, is officially out.
I had doubtful here. That's why I
Okay,
did.
so I don't think he's playing. I don't think Pitts is playing. I
That's
think he's out in my fantasy
yeah.
notification.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
That's a big loss for Atlanta.
yeah. I mean, it's another weapon, but they
Yeah,
still got
but it
plenty of
is in
them.
Atlanta. New Orleans, I thought, everybody thought they were going to be big, but Philly held them down. So, you know, I think New Orleans made a mistake though and stopped going to the Camara because I think you
Yeah,
could on Philly, and they stopped going to him as often, at least on the in the running side. That hurt. Let me see, who do we have next? Jacksonville. Well, we got Rams in Chicago. They're picking Chicago by 3. I know the Rams have some injuries,
the
but
Rams are all dinged up,
yeah, but they were dinged up last week and beat San Francisco. Of course, San Francisco's dinged up too. Um, I,
and
I
that's another one of those conference games. Those conference games play tight.
well, no, this week it's Chicago.
I know, no, I'm sorry. Last week
Yeah, last
the
week was a
49ers
conference game. Right.
Rams
Yeah, exactly.
divisional game, the divisional
Yeah,
games.
divisional games are always tough. Um, Rams, Chicago, they're picking the Bears by 3. It's in Chicago. Maybe that's why. And the Rams injuries. Billy took the Bears across the board. I'm taking the Rams across the board. I still think the Rams have enough um, to beat Chicago because I'm just not impressed with Chicago's offense. I'm really not.
I'm going Chicago across the board here. I think we saw, even though he made some bad decisions, I thought Caleb Williams actually showed his arm talent for the first time. I think he had what 383 passing yards,
Yeah, yeah.
two
Yeah.
touchdowns, two picks. That's something they're going to build on. And are there any injuries for the Bears?
Not that I know of. I didn't see any.
Yeah, I think Chicago's going to start moving forward offensively, and I like Rashawn Johnson. He was running the ball a little bit there. Swift seems to be falling off the batting order
Radar a
there.
little bit. Well, a couple weeks ago, he had a good game and a big
He had
run.
a good game, and then a
Last week,
couple.
not so much.
You know,
But that could be because they're probably keying on him too, because he's not a 3 down back anymore. So when you see him come in the game, you're like, okay, something's coming up with him. We got to keep an eye on him. Could be the same. He could be suffering from Kelsey-itis, which is everybody's watching him. So he
yeah.
can't break free. They showed a thing with Kelsey. Everybody's like, what's wrong with Kelsey? And then somebody finally broke it down and showed it, and they went, because he's triple covered. Was literally into 3 people covering him from each side. And it was like, you got to go somewhere else. And that's what they're trying to do is to force Mahomes to go to other people. Problem is, it's working still.
Yeah.
Rice
Well,
is
isn't it funny?
working.
Last week they talked about coming into halftime. I don't think Kelsey had a single catch, and they talked about Kelsey, where is he? And then they go like three straight plays to Kelsey.
Kelsey, yeah.
Yeah, and it works. I mean,
Oh
he's
yeah.
still one of the best. Give him
Oh
some
yeah.
time. Give him some
Yeah.
time.
Exactly. And that's what's going to happen in there. So we got Jacksonville, Houston. The Texans are picked by 6.5. I was tempted to take Jacksonville to cover, but because it's one of two things, they're either going to play really hard for Peterson or they're a dumpster fire. I'm starting to lean toward dumpster fire. It's not the coach's fault. I think they've overrated Trevor Lawrence, who's okay, but not the elite quarterback they were hoping for. Uh, Houston's defense is pretty good. Billy took, and we both took Houston across the board.
I misspoke there. Yeah, Peterson's in Jacksonville. Thanks for correcting me.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, he's in Jacksonville.
You should have corrected me on the spot. Don't let me go
Yeah, that's
around
all right.
ignorant.
That's all right.
I'll take. I'm taking Houston. I'm taking Houston to win, but I will take Jacksonville to cover 6.5. And again, that's a divisional game.
Yeah, it
So I'll
is.
take
That's a
Houston.
big
I think
spread.
it's going to be tight. I think it's going to be tight.
Okay, gotcha. Houston, Jacksonville. Yep.
And 6.5 is a lot of points.
Six.
You
I
have
was gonna
a
say six now. 6.5's big too, as well.
late field
Um,
goal or
yeah. Uh, New England at San Francisco. The spread is 10.5 for the
that's
Niners.
crazy.
Billy and I both took San Francisco and New England. San Francisco to win the game, New England to cover.
Same here. And I think if we're all picking it, they might know something we don't know. The Patriots looked awful. That offensive line was terrible. Stevenson did nothing.
Yeah,
A
that's
10.5. Oh, and then they're traveling across the country. I still got to take 10.5. I got
yeah,
to take it.
yep.
I got to take
And
it.
that's what we did. We both said, yeah, I'd take 10.5. So, Washington, Arizona. This is one that befuddles me a little bit because I didn't see any injuries for Washington, yet they're picking Arizona by 3.5. It is in Arizona, but I'm on board with Jaden Daniels, like you were talking about, and Billy has too. It's a 3.5 point spread for Arizona. I'm taking the Cardinals across the board. And I did Billy. Let me see. No, or I'm sorry. We both took Washington across the board. I just think I think Washington's flying high. I think they're thrilled as heck with Daniels. I think the guys are playing hard for him. He's got that connection now with McLaurin.
It was nice to see McLaurin come to
Yep.
life. Yeah.
Yep.
Finally got a quarterback that might be able to get. And he missed them once. You see the one that he missed them on?
Yeah. Yeah. But I do like them. I like Washington coming on. So
And I
I'm
think Arizona's without McBride. McBride's out. Is that official or no?
yeah, it is official. I just seen
Okay.
it come across a crawl right now. Well, 30 seconds ago on an NFL crawl.
I'm
So
going to go Arizona. I'll take Arizona at home for the win, but Washington a cover. I think we have a tight game there. It goes back and forth, a lot of points scored.
you could be right.
Give me the cover. Give me the cover.
Got you. Got it. KC and the Chargers, we did talk about it a little bit. Herbert's the start. Um, I didn't see any other major injuries there. Um, Worthy is dinged up, so he's last I knew he was listed as questionable. Uh, but you still and they signed Kareem Hunt is active. And they're talking about maybe after this week, because 4 week is Clyde Edwards-Helaire maybe back for Kansas City next
Oh,
week.
really?
Yeah. He's been on
It's
IR
interesting to
for
me
a
that they
personal.
signed.
I'm sorry,
It's
guys.
interesting that they signed Hunt. They have the best kicker in the game, and they're bringing back another kicker. So that's pretty interesting one there.
Well, I'm thinking he's hobbled myself.
Hunt is.
Oh, yeah. No, no, no. Hunt's the running back, Kareem
I know. I
Hunt.
was making a joke. He kicked
Oh,
that
I didn't
girl.
hear it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I said
yeah,
they're bringing in
good
another.
kick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bringing back another kicker. Yeah. I thought you meant they signed a kicker that I was like, I didn't hear about that.
No, no, no.
Maybe he's on
I like to pick against the
Rutgers.
Chiefs. I know there's a lot of Chiefs fans, especially around here, but I got Kansas City to win. It's a divisional game there. I'll take the Chargers to cover 7, and
Okay.
it might be just 7. I'll take a push, but I'll take the Chargers to cover.
Yeah, it is a high number. It's 7. My reason for going across is I just don't see Herbert being able to last the whole game.
Yeah, and there's not much else going on there right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Harbaugh's going to build them up, but it's going to take time.
Yeah, yep.
He
Next
does
year
it
they'll
everywhere he
be
goes.
dangerous.
Yeah. 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 Next year and the year after, they're going to be.
Yeah, look out for
If the
run game
Chiefs
and
get their
defense.
three-peat, they better get it now.
Yeah.
So, Cleveland and Vegas. Cleveland is picked by 2.5. It's in Vegas. I know you're a Cleveland boy.
I am. So that line kind of surprises me. Vegas at home and they're underdogs.
Yes.
And
And I
Cleveland has
was
not looked
surprised
great.
too. I think Billy and I took, but yeah, we both took Vegas across the board. Only because Cleveland's got injuries.
They
Plus,
do. The offensive line's beat up.
yep. And I'm
There's
just,
something about that spread that tells me gonna have to go with Vegas on out. I'm gonna take Cleveland and 2.5, and it's not because I'm a Cleveland fan. I am a Cleveland fan, but there's something weird about that spread.
Yeah,
I don't know.
there
I
is.
don't know.
There
Are
is.
the Raiders giving up? They might be. There might be something
I,
there.
and I think that's why there is some internal strife going on in there, and I think that's what they're worried about.
Yeah, give me Cleveland. I'll take Cleveland there. We'll see. We'll see how that pans out.
All right, Cleveland across the board. Sunday night football. This is probably could be, he says, the game of the week. Dun dun dun. Baltimore is hosting Buffalo. Baltimore is picked by 2.5. Billy and I were exactly on the same page here. We both took Buffalo across the board.
Really? So I took
I,
Baltimore.
yep. Are you?
I'm taking Baltimore at home. Yeah, 2.5. If it's close, I think they'll cover that. Yeah, as good as Buffalo's been, I think Baltimore has more to fight for. I mean, they have everything to
They
fight
do
for
have
right
more to
now.
fight for, but I also think Buffalo feels that they haven't gotten respect the last few years, and they're fighting for it too. I think I really do. I think they're
And
fighting
Buffalo
for
looks
it.
like a good unit.
Yeah, yeah, and Allen's playing out of his mind right now,
Incredible.
and he's not turning the ball over, which was always the big bugaboo against him. He has
Yep.
no turnovers yet this year. That's a great performance by him. Um, Lamar's going to have to carry Baltimore on his back again. And against Buffalo, I just don't know if he's going to be able to do that, but without much help.
I think they get the run game going. Derrick Henry's looked better than I even
Yeah,
thought he would.
if they get Derrick Henry going, they got a shot.
And I think they will. I think it's going to be a gritty, slow paced game at home. I'll take Baltimore
Okay.
and the cover.
And yep, I got it. But yeah, I saw you took across the board. The first Monday night game there's two Monday night football games this week again. Tennessee and Miami. Miami is picked by 2.5. We've already discussed that Tyler Huntley's going to start. Uh, Raheem Mostert, who the running back for Miami, who has been hobbled, is bumped up to questionable. Now, I think he missed last week, but he is bumped up to questionable this week. Usually means you're going to play, but we'll see. That's a big step for Miami as well if he plays.
Yeah.
Huntley is mobile. Obviously, he's not Tua. He's not Lamar. He did back up Lamar and had some good games for Baltimore when Lamar was out injured last year. Year before.
Yeah. He's
So
solid.
he's solid, exactly. And he's mobile. He's not going to just stand in the pocket. He can get out of the pocket as well. So that, as Billy and I like to say, I have a thing. I'll explain all this and then go, that being said, and then usually go the opposite. But this time, that being said, we both decided to stick with Miami across the board. I think Miami's going to win by more than 3. I know you like Will Levis. I like him, but he still seems to make mistakes in that clutch time.
He hasn't shown anything this year. I want to like him.
Yep.
I believe in him. He's just
Yep.
not proving it. And at some
Uh,
point, it doesn't happen. But that being said, give me Tennessee. I think Miami is in
that
a.
being said, there we go.
That being said, I think Miami's in shambles right now. Tennessee might be a little more healthy, and they have their starting quarterback. Let's see if he gets it going. I'll take
Yep.
Tennessee there. I'm not. I'm not. That's not a bet. That's not a pick that I would bet there. I don't know how to play that one. That
Uh,
one is. It's a weird
Two and a
one.
half. That's a tough one to throw a bet down on, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Either
touch
way.
that.
Yeah,
But yep, Tennessee.
I
Let
had
me
a
go against the
parlay,
grain.
they would not be in if they put them in the parlay, I wouldn't take the bet.
No, sir.
Not a shot. And last but not least, and this could be a really good game too, is Seattle is going to Detroit on the second Monday night game, the later Monday night game that starts at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Uh, Detroit's picked by 2.5.
Is
Billy
it
and
two and
I
a half?
both went. Yep. Billy and I both went with the 2.5. Walker's going to return at running back for Seattle. Laporte is going to return to play. He was hobbled the second half of last week's game for Detroit, the tight end, but he's up to playing too now. So both teams appear to have all their weapons. It is, like I said, a 2.5 point spread in Detroit. And that is going to
So
be a rowdy crowd. People are already saying now that Detroit's pretty good that It's not pleasant to go into Detroit and play. It gets rowdy.
No, not anymore.
It's going to be Monday night.
Yeah, there's no more paper bags there. Now they're proud to
Uh,
show their faces.
nope, it ain't the Lions spelled Lyngs anymore.
Not
Not
anymore.
like the Lions.
Um, so I like the Lions at 3.5. 2.5, I'll take
What is
that.
3.5?
I'll take
Yeah.
2.5. I'll take Detroit 2.5. I'll take them across the board.
Well, it does say 3.5 here. Did I say
It
two?
is 3.5. Okay, that's what
It's
I
my
have it at.
mistake. Okay, yep, it's 3.5. I apologize. It's my
So
mistake.
we're playing 3.5. You guys are still keeping yours?
Yeah, I'm still keeping it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll keep with Detroit. Detroit 3.5. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Now I do
Should be a
usually
good
check
game.
them a little bit. I always go back and try to check the lines again. Like the 1 o'clock or 12 o'clock games. I check the lines at 11:30, make sure there's no drastic change or injury reports. And the same with the Sunday and Monday nights, usually about 30 minutes before the game. I try to check the lines so that if the 3.5 goes down, you never know. It could go down to 3. It could go up to 4. I mean, sometimes it's only half a point. But when you're talking
Yeah.
a 3.5 point spread, 3 is a field goal.
Oh, 3. That hook gets you, man.
Yep,
It's
that hook,
probably going to
that
be 3.
25 hook is the one that gets you. If they knock it down to 3, then you got to go, well,
Yeah. You
uh,
like that. What's
yep.
the over under in that game?
I did, I had it and I don't know. And we used to pick all the over unders, but um, let me see.
I'm thinking they'll score some points there.
Yeah, that might be if the over under is under 60 or under 55, I think you got to go for it. Let me see. Draft. There it is. Odds.
I mean, we
NFL.
know Detroit's one of the better teams in the NFC, and they haven't been super. I think they're gonna, start to establish some dominance, and I think it starts here.
Yeah, and I think that's what they want to do as well. I think they're like, okay, we need to start showing that we are an elite team in the NFL, and to do that, we need to flex our muscles. Well, I would jump on this. Over under is 46.
46. I was thinking 48. I would go. I'm liking over there. Yep.
Yeah,
There's gonna be a
I
lot
would
of
jump
points.
on
It's
the
gonna be a
over.
fun game.
Yep, I would jump on the over in that in a heartbeat. So there's your over under tip for the week too, folks. Detroit, Seattle, it's 46. We both here at least have the consensus to take the over. I think
Yep.
both teams are going to come out and show some offense. Um, that's pretty much it as far as our NFL picks. Major League Baseball, we pretty much know who's going to be in the playoffs now. Um, we do know that the Padres look like they're going to beat the Dodgers out in the West because of that series last weekend. The Dodgers will still be a wild card, but they won't win the division. A lot of pitching injuries for the Dodgers. The American League, Kansas City, we were talking about it off camera. Kansas City has clinched their playoff spot with some big wins over Houston. So that was key for them. And they beat a good team to get there. So it's no fluke. They've had a great season.
Congratulations, Royals.
Yep. Yep. The Royals doing a nice job. And they've got some pitching and they got some to me, they got one of the top 2 or 3 players in baseball right now, which is Bobby Witt Jr. We talked about that. And Roger actually has a Bobby Witt Jr. rookie card. So,
Tops Chrome. That's the
yep.
best.
So if he hangs on to that for a few years and Bobby Witt keeps playing like he's playing, he is probably going to win the American League batting title, it looks like.
It's impressive.
Which is
Yeah, I'll
what
pass it down to the kids. I'll pass it down to the kids. Maybe they'll pay for my funeral with it one day.
you never know. Your kids will go, let's cash in dad's card. We got to pay and put him in the box.
Yeah.
uh, but yeah, it's I like them and I like them for the future. That's the thing, is they're doing it kind of the right way. They've got some
Absolutely.
great
Yep.
starting pitching and they've got timely hitting. I love Vinny Pasquantino. He's a clutch guy as far as big clutch hits and RBIs. Love Salvador Perez. The guy is
Still doing it.
pretty, and he's learned to play first base decently as well as catch, which gets him off his knees and makes him last longer. Then they DH him sometimes. Same
How
thing.
old is he?
I don't know off the top of my head, but he's
35,
probably
36.
34, 35, I think.
Yeah. Impressive. Yeah, he's been there ever since I remember,
Yep.
since I was a kid, pretty much.
And he said he doesn't want to go anywhere else. He wants to finish his career there. So,
Good for him.
yep. You don't see that very often anymore. One guy staying with one team very long. Uh, Bobby Witt, by winning, I think he's up by about 6 points in the batting average right now, is really why Aaron Judge won't win the Triple Crown. Because Aaron Judge is the guy that's right behind him in batting average, and of course he leads the league in home runs and RBIs.
Wow, that's impressive.
Aaron Judge for the Yankees is having a great season.
Oh yeah,
I don't like the Yankees because I'm a Red Sox fan, but you got to give your due to the player.
absolutely.
He kept the Yankees in it for a couple of spells. Yankees look kind of tough, though their pitching is a little weak, um, starting pitching, and their bullpen's been a disaster. They've had trouble finding somebody to close all season long.
And when you're looking at bullpens, Cleveland is across the board number one bullpen in every category. So if they can pull it late, Cleveland could be dangerous. They could make a run.
Cleveland is dangerous. I'm not going to lie to you. Cleveland is absolutely dangerous. Uh, Everybody's saying that Philly has the best uh, lineup 1 through 9. I don't know. I've watched enough of them to know. I'm not sure. I mean, they're hot and cold. They have great numbers. You look at some of the guys, um, but boy, there's a lot of times in the clutch they can't come through. Uh, I like Schwarber, and he's really put into work to improve his batting average a lot this year. Uh, Harper, because he's been dinged up all year, is kind of struggling. Good average. He's like 7th or 8th in the league in batting average, but he can't do his arm. He's got a bad elbow. Uh,
Don't count Harper out in the
but
in
don't
the in
count
the
him out. He
playoffs.
gets a hot
When you
streak.
put the camera on that kid, he
Oh,
shines.
he
He's
gets
a
up
gamer.
in the clutch. Yep. Alec Boehm's had a good season. He's up and coming. Not a power guy, more of an average 280, 300 guy. RBIs like crazy.
Yeah.
The guy to worry about if you're the other team is Nick Castellanos. He has been hot since right before the All Star game, and he's in a cleanup spot now, and he's still driving in runs like crazy. Hit his 20th home run the other day, nothing to sneeze at, but he's getting to 100 RBIs. Schwarber out of the leadoff spot has 100 RBIs.
Are the Phillies the 1 seed as of right now? Have they clinched that?
It might be them or San Diego.
Okay, so
It
they're
was
still
going to
fighting
be
out
them
for
or
it.
the Dodgers, but now that San Diego's got more wins, I think they're going to be number 2. They've clinched number 2, so they will have a bye through the first round of the playoffs. Um, but they needed to win a couple of these games in Washington. They lost last night and they're losing today pretty big too. So I I think they don't care as far as he's not Rob Thompson, their manager's not playing it like it's a postseason game. He's getting different guys at bats and stuff. Um, but my point was, I think Cleveland overall is at least as good as Philly or San Diego or the Yankees because I think they are a more uh, spread out team, like more team players in their positions. Uh, and I think overall, like a little better defensively, as well as come up with the clutch hits and they play for each other and they are not afraid to play a little small ball. Philly has
Yeah.
been trying to play some small ball, but nowhere near what Cleveland can do, what
Yeah.
Kansas City can do. Um, so
I've
I
been watching Cleveland here ever since my family got here about 25 years ago. And if you're telling me this is the year they might win it, getting me excited, John.
don't get too excited, buddy, because they've had
I
a
know,
lot
no,
of
they
years
know how
where
to
they've
break
looked
they know how
great.
to break the heart. They know
Yeah,
how to stab you.
yeah. I gotta bring you down to earth, buddy, because
Uh,
let's face it, there's a reason they haven't won in over 80 some years. So
2016 Cubs, that still
yeah,
hurts.
2016 Cubs game, the game to go to game 7 and then go extra innings.
What a game too, man. Oh
That
man.
was a game. That was a game. That was incredible. And when Cleveland came back, I thought for sure tied it. I said
Yeah.
they got the
The,
momentum. This is it.
the
This is
momentum
over.
changed. I thought we had it too. I was so excited. Oh man.
Yeah, but things happen. I'm just if Philly doesn't get in it, and I'm a Red Sox fan too, but they just come up short. Uh, but I think they overachieved. Actually, I don't think anybody picked them to even be in the hunt for postseason. So
Not this year, yeah.
No,
But
so
the Red Sox,
they
they've
were.
had their run. They've had their day.
Oh yeah, they had their day. Um, but they were close for quite a while until the last
Yeah.
couple of weeks ago, and then they just ran out of time. Basically, they need some more pitching, um, especially the back end of the bullpen. The start two or three of the starters are good. I think they need one more good starter and a good reliever in the bullpen. Doesn't necessarily have to be a closer, but then I saw Baltimore. I think it was dumped Craig Kimbrell because he was just giving up everything. Uh,
He's been there a long time. Eventually,
he's
everyone
been
fades.
around. He's been around quite a few teams, but the last couple of years, the end of the season, he's faltered. Uh, I would think you could see the trend and say, okay, maybe we're using him too much in the beginning. He's older.
Yeah. A lot of
Let's
miles.
Yep, let's back off him so that he's fresh at the end of the season. But that's every team's got their prerogatives. Uh, so I think it's going to be tough. A baseball season is going to be great to watch. Um, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, Houston's going to win the West. It wouldn't surprise me if it comes down to Cleveland and the Yankees going at it for the American League title, and maybe Philly and I just
LA, the
LA
Dodgers,
probably or the Padres.
or the Padres. Yeah.
Padres just beat up on LA. I think it could be the Padres only because LA's pitching. They've got so many pitchers hurt. It's like Walker Bueller's trying to come back from injury and his ERA is over 5, and he
Yeah.
was one of their best. So, um, but they could get healthy in a short series. You only need 2 good starters, maybe 3. Because I mean, Philly Ranger Suarez was an all-star, but he hasn't been the same since he came back from the DL. He's getting rocked. But you still have Wheeler, Nola, and Sanchez. You've got 3 starters for a short series.
All you really need. Yeah.
All you need. Their bullpen's been good. Uh, Cleveland's
Couple of
bullpen's been great. And they say pitching and defense wins championships. If it's pitching and defense, to me, I would give Cleveland the edge.
All right.
That's me personally. This could
Don't
be the
get me
year
too
Cleveland
excited.
goes to. I don't want to get you too excited, but when
Yeah.
I look at best overall teams, I think I gotta look at Cleveland, and I
A
think
woman's never broken my heart. A woman has never broken my heart, but Cleveland sports teams
I
have
know. I was just gonna say, uh,
many times over.
I've had my heart broken by women, but it's been broken worse by the Phillies, by the Sixers,
The Eagles.
the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Red Sox. But my heart's always felt the best, like when the Red Sox beat the Yankees after losing the first 3 games of a series. It'd be the first ever to come back and win 4 in a row to take a series.
That,
I was living in Boston then when that happened.
oh, wow.
That place was nobody cared about anything else during the week but those games.
No,
And-
me and my brothers either. I grew up right here across the street, and we'd watch those games and then go outside and
oh
play
yeah,
catch.
yep.
Oh,
It was incredible series, and you knew it when Kevin Millar before Game 4 said, "Well, don't let us win tonight.
yeah.
Don't let us win
No,
tonight because
you,
then we've got Schilling, then we've got Pedro. We're tied at 3, and in Game 7, anything can happen." And he goes, and that's when the idiots thing came out. He goes, and we're idiots. We're not smart enough to know that we're not supposed to win. And after that, everybody was wearing idiot T-shirts in
yeah.
Boston. Great.
And you could feel it. You could feel it after they won that first game that
Feel
it was going to happen.
that, yeah, you could feel momentum
You could
actually.
feel it. Yeah.
And I don't care what anybody says. I've seen a lot of baseball in my time, but I still think David Ortiz, Big Papi, is the best clutch hitter in the postseason I have ever seen.
He was amazing. And
Um,
Manny Ramirez came
Manny
through there
Ramirez was, but
as well.
you take a little off of Manny because he might have had some help.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Who
But
knows who did, who didn't, but
right, but pitchers did too. That's what everybody forgets. His pitchers were on that shit too. I mean, so if you got a steroid taking hitter, he's going against a steroid taking pitcher. You're still back to an even out situation. It's
what game
still
was the bloody sock game? The Kurt Schilling, was that game
that
5?
was a Yankees game. I think it was game. It might have been the game that started it all. Game, or it was either game 4 or game 5. It was an elimination game for sure. It might have
Yeah.
been game 4.
Would
Um,
you say that's the greatest World Series of all time?
well, that one wasn't a World Series. That was a
Oh, that was sorry. The
American League
playoff
Championship.
series. It wasn't the
I
World
still
Series
think
of
it was one of the best, if not the best, championship series of all time.
all
And I'm
time.
not saying that just because I'm a Red Sox fan. Even if the Yankees had come back from 3-0, and
It was amazing.
it was amazing no matter who did it. Uh,
And
you were
the
sitting
Red Sox,
on the edge of your seat.
oh yeah.
Those games were going 4.5 hours. And those were the games, though, that you didn't care. You knew when you were sitting down to watch that game that you were done everything else for the rest of the day or night. That's
Yep.
all you wanted to do. Uh, and that's all you were going to do. I was
Absolutely.
working in Homeland Security, and it was hard to keep people. I was a captain. It was hard to keep people working their shifts and their posts. Yeah, you had old school radios on, phones were on the MLB. Everything was on ESPN stuff to listen to the radio, and if they couldn't watch it, guys would try to. I need to take a like they'd give the code for a break, and I knew what they were going to do. I said, "You got 10 minutes," and they were like, "Oh, come on, Cap," and I'm like, "10 minutes," and I'm like, and then finally I said, "If I can't do what you want to do, then you can't do it."
Yeah.
Of course, I was the captain, so I did get to do
You
that.
watched the whole game.
Oh, most of it. I mean, I still had work to do, and I still did that. But yeah, but you
So
still
you watched the whole game.
that game, yeah, basically, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that
Let's
game,
see. So tonight we also have a big game here. That's
yes,
Alabama, Georgia.
Alabama, Georgia tonight.
I'm
I
looking at it.
kind of like Georgia in this thing.
All right, Alabama's up. It's early. It's 7-0 Alabama. We're 5 minutes in the first quarter.
Okay,
Milrow touchdown run. I'm going to go Alabama. I think this is going to be a fun game. It's going to
yeah.
determine a lot of what's going to happen in college football.
Oh, absolutely, it is. Yeah. Uh, the one thing I will say though is now that the playoff system is 12, if this is a good game, neither team will be eliminated from that 12.
Absolutely not. Even a two-loss team that's just plays
Yeah.
well and even contends at the end in those big conferences, they'll get in.
I was going to say, and their 2 losses are to 2 good teams.
Yeah,
They still got a
they'll
shot.
factor that in.
Yeah, you still got
Who
a
do you
shot.
like? Who do you like in the NCAA?
I haven't followed it as much. I do still kind of like Georgia. I root for. I don't know why I root for Penn State ever since I was a kid. Uh, I have rooted for years for Kansas State here, but they've never gotten above like 15 or so in the polls. Um,
Well, they have a year with Colin Klein. They made a run there.
yeah, yeah, they did make a run. They got to like fifth or sixth in the polls and had a shot, and then lost a game to somebody. And
I think they lost to Baylor on the road. Yeah, out of nowhere.
yeah,
The one
I
game they didn't
remember that.
have to worry about.
Yeah, it hurt them. So
That's why you got to play them all. I'm
yeah,
going to Ohio boy. I'm liking Ohio State here. They're probably the
Ohio
most
State was
talented
good.
roster.
Yeah,
Will Howard. Will
yeah,
Howard from K State's there.
K State. Yeah,
We'll see how he does. He
State
doesn't have to
was
be
good.
great. He just has to do the little things right and
Yeah,
hand the ball off. They'll be good. But yeah,
yeah,
you can't count Georgia out. Texas looks good now. They have two quarterbacks. So Arch Manning now is starting.
yeah.
That's
Because what's
Cohen's
his name's
nephew.
hurt, but he's gonna be fine. Yeah. So it's gonna be
Steelers.
Texas looks good. Uh, Georgia, Ohio State, they all look pretty good.
Old
Uh,
Miss lost today. Another team I'll throw in the hat there, Tennessee. I think Tennessee could
yeah,
be a problem.
yeah. I did see Tennessee start playing well. So
Yeah, for the first time in 20 years, I think they'll actually be legitimate.
a legitimate contender. Yeah,
A
and I think
contender. Yeah,
it's
there's
interesting. I still thought maybe 12 teams was too high. Maybe it should have been 8, but
no
it's going
12.
to make things
12's right.
12. I wouldn't expand it past 12. I would leave it at 12. Um, and I know it's all money generated. Of
Yeah.
course, the big news in college football too was the quarterback from UNLV saying, you guys reneged on my NIL money, so I quit. And he was the starting quarterback and got UNLV to, I think it was 3-0 or something. And
Really? Okay. I saw the headline. I didn't read into that. That's what
yeah,
happened. That's
you can't
interesting.
read into it. It's interesting because it's gonna affect how college football pays the NIL money, I think.
Oh,
Because he says he was supposed to get 100,000. He only got 3 grand. And they said, we don't know anything about the 100,000. And he's like, well, then I'm done. Because he said it came from an assistant coach. And But I can tell you from the law school background that verbal, if it's there's what's called statute of frauds. If you make a verbal commitment, you're not bound to it if it's over a certain amount of money. You got to get it in writing. And he didn't. So to me, legally, that's going to be the mistake. But
Uh,
you're not looking at just legalities here. This is going to down the road affect who does what in the NIL with that likeness money.
that's an interesting point there. Yep.
Yeah,
Thanks for bringing that up. I wasn't aware of that. I saw the
yeah. You get
headline
a
and I
chance
kind
to
of
that,
skipped by it.
just plug in UNLV quarterback, and it'll bring up his name and give you all the details. And he
I
was
saw the headline. I
for
just didn't think it
3-0.
was worth reading into, but that sounds like a big story.
It is. It's a huge story. It's taken off. So we're
All
about to
right,
lose the
Josh.
rest of our lighting, so I would be it would be the total black mark here pretty soon if we keep going, or I'd have to
Yeah.
take a break. So we're going to go ahead and stop. We've covered just about everything we can cover for now. You've got our picks, folks. Remember the over under on that Seattle Detroit game. That could be a money winner for you. Uh, Everybody's doing pretty well. We will come back and review next week, and we may be able to do a blitz for you for the Thursday night game. We'll see what happens. Thanks, everybody, for Billy Smith, who sent in our bad boy Bill. We're hoping he's back with Roger and me next week. Uh, Roger, thank you. Good job. You
Thanks,
didn't
John.
lose this
Shout out
one
that
last
sponsor
week,
one more
so
time.
yep,
You want to
let's
shout out the
go.
sponsor?
Yep, give it to us. Talk to us. Roger's got a
Oh, no,
comment.
no.
Well, I want you
Oh,
to
oh, yeah, no,
guys
we
to
got a show.
comment
I was gonna say
first.
your sponsor.
I
October
will, but
5th, get your tickets. October 5th, get your tickets. They're right here. They're wristbands. Don't try to buy a blue wristband. They're specially numbered. We'll strip search you and waterboard you if you come in with a fake wristband. But come on out. We're gonna have a great show. John's hosting. I got Jack Merriwell,
where is
one of the
it?
best comedians in the Midwest. He opened for Theo Vaughn. He's gonna be there. We shouldn't have him on the show. That's how good he is. He should be headlining, and he's gonna feature for me. John's hosting. He's also a headline talent. And we have a young man, Patrick Merchant, 23 years old. He's one of the top up and comers. We got a great show, Rossville, Kansas, 9 p.m. next Saturday, October 5th. See you guys there.
There you go.
John,
American Legion, Rossville, Kansas, 9 p.m., right? So
9
9
p.m.
p.m., right?
Doors open at 7:30.
So bring cash to the door, and it's only like a $10 admission, right?
$10. Yep.
Yeah,
$10.
that's a good
Won't break the
cost.
bank.
Yeah, you're getting some serious entertainment for $10. You'll have a lot of laughs. So come on in, have a good time. Like Roger said, I'm hosting. I'm thankful that they asked me to do that. It's going to be a lot of fun. So come see us in Rossville, Kansas next Saturday on October 5th at 9 p.m. Bring a couple bucks to buy your ticket. Bring a couple bucks to have a couple drinks for the American Legion, and let's have some fun. Uh, for Roger, for Billy, for Dennis and Graldi at Vineland Realty, 634 East Landis Avenue in Vineland, New Jersey. Make sure you get, I wish if you had a Sharpie, I could see the number.
It's there, John. Are your eyes that bad?
Read, I can't see it. Read the number. I know there's something there, but
I got 856
yeah,
690
yep,
9482.
that is correct, sir.
Give
There
them a
it is.
call.
Give them a call for any of your residential or business property needs. Uh, Before the eclipse, it's inside the studio here, and I don't have anybody that could come flick on the lighting anymore. They want overtime, and I'm not paying it. I'm too cheap. Uh, I need Dennis to sponsor me some more. uh, so before we do all that, we're just going to say thank you, folks. Have a great week. Enjoy the games and make some money at the same time. We will talk to you soon. Have a good
God
week.
bless.
From the
Good
two
night.
streets, this is John and Roger saying, have a great night.
Good night.